What on earth just went down on Raw? Roman Reigns shook the entire WWE universe to its core with a dramatic and aggressive return, this time, not alone. In a shocking turn of events, the tribal chief stormed into the arena flanked by a mysterious masked enforcer, and their first target was crystal clear: Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman's newly formed faction. Just weeks after Heyman betrayed Roman Reigns to side with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed in what many thought would be WWE's next dominant alliance, Roman responded in the most explosive way possible, by unleashing all-out chaos. The tension had already been sky-high since Paul Heyman turned his back on Roman, aligning with Rollins, who now holds the Money in the Bank contract, and two of WWE's most powerful rising forces, Breaker and Reed. This powerhouse group was supposed to dominate the WWE landscape. Heyman, as always, believed he was 2 steps ahead. With Seth's cunning, Braun's brute rage, and Bronson's sheer power, they looked unstoppable, until last night changed everything. Raw turned into a battleground when Roman made his entrance. The moment he appeared, flanked by a figure clad in black and wearing a mask, the crowd went silent with anticipation. Nobody knew who this masked person was, but their intent was immediately clear. They weren't just here to send a message, they were here to destroy. As the lights suddenly went out and Roman stood alone under the spotlight, the arena held its breath. Then a new entrance theme hit, one that hadn't been heard before, signaling the arrival of this new enforcer. Dressed in black, echoing the look of the Shield, the masked figure stepped into the ring, and everything changed. The impact was immediate and brutal. The mysterious ally launched into Braun Breaker with a devastating spear that sent shockwaves through the crowd. Bronson Reed tried to step in, only to be flattened by a thunderous powerbomb. Seth Rollins, the cunning tactician he is, tried to escape, but Roman wasn't about to let him off the hook. Grabbing Rollins and holding him still, he allowed the masked figure to deliver a brutal stomp that left Rollins gasping in pain. Meanwhile, Heyman could only scream from the sidelines, watching the destruction unfold before his eyes. And then came the reveal. The moment the masked man pulled off the mask, jaws dropped across the arena. This wasn't just a surprise return, it was the beginning of a new chapter, a revolution led by Roman Reigns. He hasn't just responded to betrayal, he's rebuilt the Shield in his image. It's personal now, and this time, Roman is not playing games. Questions are now swirling faster than ever. Who is this mystery enforcer? Is it a returning WWE legend, someone who has deep roots with Roman or the Shield? Or is it a brand new ally, someone with something to prove and a score to settle? Seth Rollins may be Mr. Money in the Bank, but now he's watching his back constantly. Paul Heyman's dream faction is quickly turning into a nightmare. And what about Solo Sikoa? He's been silent, absent from all of this. Is he lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, or has Roman cast him aside in favor of a new inner circle? The balance of power in WWE is shifting dramatically, and nothing will be the same from here on out. Roman Reigns just turned the page on an entirely new story, and it's looking like a war is on the horizon. If you thought things were wild before, it's about to go off the rails. This new era is here, and it's going to be ruthless. So don't miss a second of the action. Stay tuned, get your predictions in. Who do you think is behind the mask? A returning icon, a fresh new face. One thing's for sure, the battle lines have been drawn, and the war is just beginning. Absolutely. Here's a significantly longer version of the paraphrased content, keeping it flowing without breaks or formatting while diving deeper into the drama, speculation, and implications of what just happened. What just unfolded on Monday Night Raw wasn't just another dramatic segment, it was a complete seismic shift in the WWE landscape. Roman Reigns, the self-proclaimed tribal chief and once seemingly unbeatable Universal Champion, has returned to Raw in stunning fashion, but he didn't come alone. In what might go down as one of the most shocking and strategic moments in recent WWE history, Roman Reigns appeared flanked by a mysterious masked figure whose presence sent instant chills through the WWE universe. Together, they launched a sudden, violent assault targeting none other than Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman's brand new faction, a group that had been confidently billed as the future of WWE. This moment wasn't just about vengeance, it was about reclaiming dominance and sending a message that betrayal comes with devastating consequences. Not long ago, Paul Heyman, known as one of the sharpest and most manipulative minds in WWE history, shocked the world when he turned his back on Roman Reigns. After years of being Roman's special counsel, standing by his side through wars and championship reigns, Heyman made the cutthroat decision to jump ship. He aligned himself with Seth Rollins, the cunning and ever-dangerous architect, who currently holds the coveted Money in the Bank briefcase. Alongside them, Heyman brought in two of WWE's most physically imposing stars, the explosive and unpredictable Braun Breaker and the powerhouse brawler Bronson Reed. With that alliance, it seemed like Heyman had assembled a new dynasty, one destined to rule WWE with intelligence, strategy, and sheer brute force. Many thought Roman Reigns would be left in the dust, outnumbered, outmaneuvered, and perhaps even outmatched. But Roman doesn't fade into the background. He watches, he plans, and then he strikes. That strike came last night on Raw, and it was executed with ruthless precision. As the arena lights dimmed and the atmosphere grew tense, Roman's entrance music hit, sending the crowd into a frenzy. But what followed left everyone stunned. Behind him emerged a figure, face hidden behind a black tactical mask, body cloaked in gear eerily reminiscent of the Shield, Roman's original faction that once dominated WWE. The resemblance wasn't lost on fans, commentators, or his enemies. This wasn't just a backup. This was a statement. Roman Reigns wasn't just coming to fight. He was coming to dismantle and rebuild. As the camera panned to the ring, the tension reached a boiling point. Seth Rollins stood frozen, confidence momentarily cracking. Paul Heyman, always calculating, looked rattled for the first time in months. Braun Breaker stepped forward, ready to unleash his raw power, but what followed shocked even him. The masked enforcer exploded with a blindingly fast spear that nearly cut Braun in half. The force of the move echoed throughout the arena. Bronson Reed attempted to intervene, using his size and power to slow down the attack, but one massive powerbomb from the mystery figure rendered him completely motionless on the mat. The entire match, and narrative, shifted in those few seconds. Then, in a moment that will be replayed for weeks, Seth Rollins tried to escape the chaos. He tried to retreat, to regroup, but Roman wasn't letting him go anywhere. Reigns caught Rollins with ease, dragging him back into the ring and holding him up like a trophy. That's when the masked man delivered a vicious, unforgiving stomp to Rollins' head, leaving him laid out and dazed. All the while, Heyman screamed in protest from ringside, helpless to stop the carnage as he watched his carefully constructed empire crumble before his eyes. But the true bombshell came after the destruction. With the chaos in the ring settling, the masked man slowly removed his hood. The arena collectively gasped. This wasn't just a debut, it was a declaration. The man under the mask, whoever he is, isn't just someone Roman trusts, he's someone handpicked for a mission. The unveiling signified the rebirth of a faction, but not just any faction. Roman Reigns has resurrected the Shield in his own image. No longer the brotherhood formed of equals, this is a darker, more personal evolution of that concept. Roman now leads not just with brute force, but with strategic vengeance and a clear agenda: tear down what betrayed him and reshape WWE to reflect his rule. Speculation is running wild.